What is the plan? I will put it on record right now. I don't know, whatever. We're here. We're talking about my plans for next year. Andrea was supposed to be in the video and she decided to go get coffee. She better bring me.
At 4:30.
Yeah, and then she's gonna tell me she can't sleep tonight. That makes sense. But again, she actually doesn't have those problems because she's Colombian and they drink coffee before bed, which is probably also not good. But yeah, so today I wanted to talk about kind of show plans, what I really want out of the business life, PEDs, where I'm at, where my health markers are, and then we have something spicy for you. If you really know, this is the real hat right here. This is the real hat. Kind of hear my thoughts as to how I'll do in Classic or what the transition's been like. You know, I think there's a lot of people who would like to do it. I think there's probably gonna be a lot more people out of the sport sooner than later, especially because of the fact with the new cap in men's physique. I think that's gonna make things really, really interesting. So coincidentally, last year when I did the Chicago Pro, we're about 58 weeks away or 58 weeks out from my last show, Chicago Pro. And I was 196.6 pounds the day of the show, wake up. That was my lowest. And with the new men's physique cap, what my cap would have been before they raised it. Now this is all subjective because I'm hoping that I can get to 5'9", which would give me a weight cutoff, what would have been 207. Now it's going to be 212. So if you do the math, that should line up with, they're saying it's gonna be about 10 pounds lighter than Classic is what most people are assuming. If you do the math on that, that would put me at 202. With the improvements that would have been needed to be made to be competitive in men's physique, if I don't make 5'9", that would put my height and cutoff at like 196. So there's no way I would have been able to make that. So regardless, I still would have needed the inversion table that you guys all laugh about and you've seen me hanging upside down to still try and get to 202. Now in Classic physique, it would put me at 212. So I think it will be very interesting. We've done 2 pushes and it seems right now that the sweet spot for my body is about 18 weeks before my body kind of calls it quits and mentally I kind of tap out. And I say that in the sense of you can only push for so long before you're like done, you know, and 20 weeks, that's what, 6 months? It's half a year. Each time I make it to about the 18-week marker and appetite just is in the gutter. Training, sleep, everything that is needed to be in an anabolic state starts to backslide. And then at that point, there's no point of kind of continuing to run anabolics for the next bit and make health markers worse if I'm not progressing. So the goal was originally get to 235 when we thought the cap was gonna be 207. That puts me somewhere around that 25 pounds over stage weight. Now we're looking for 240 because as you all know, and you guys see, the bigger the individual, the bigger they are in weight on stage, typically the more they have to cut. You're not seeing like the men's physique, like when I went pro, I started my prep at 207 and I stepped on stage for my pro card at 198. We're not seeing those cuts. You have to have a bit more fullness and roundness and things like that. So we've done 2 pushes so far. I'm pretty happy with this because the last point of this, I guess my last health phase, I got down to 209. Right now I was 223.4 this morning and I feel relatively lean. I would say it's about the same body composition. So the goal is to replicate that again. So if you think about it, we went from 209 up to my heaviest was 232, came back down about 10 pounds. Digestion is good, sleep is better. Me and Cam were just joking because he's already lost 23 pounds and you just feel like a weight is lifted off your shoulders, literally. Training is, it was good the first week, it started to take a backslide now. And what people don't understand is pressing is one of the first movements to go because of leverages. So when I was inflamed and had all that food in me, it was like it's just kind of coming up and you can kind of take advantage of that. Whereas now Like my first initial top set is very strong, and then my endurance just goes to shit. What is the plan? I will put it on record right now. What I'm kind of aiming for is Hurricane Pro next year. So right now from Hurricane, I believe we're 5 weeks out. That would, if it's at the same date next year, which it typically will be, that gives me 57 weeks. I like about a 20-week prep. So 20-week prep, I would have another mandatory 8-week health phase, and then another 20-week progression is what I'm looking at. Hopefully I can make it the full 20 weeks. That comes out to 48 weeks. Right now I have another 4 weeks in this health phase. So you can see that gives a little bit of wiggle room in there. So we'll see. The great thing being, we now live in Florida. There's tons of shows. It's not Men's Physique anymore, so we don't have shows basically every week like there was a Men's Physique Classic. It's a little bit closer. But yeah, I mean, that kind of falls in that string of like Tampa, Daytona, Hurricane, and I'm sure there's a couple more shows. Regardless, I will say that I think I'm going to compete next year, regardless if I think I'll be an Olympian or not. And that's primarily just because of the fact that I can feel as I'm getting busier. Coaching is taking off, and very excitingly, I don't know if this video will be out before we make the announcement, but we just hired 2 new coaches under JB Coaching Concepts. Extremely excited to introduce them to you guys. But I think Fuad even said at one point, if you ever want me to be extremely productive, just put me in a dieting phase. Because 1, I don't feel so bogged down. Yeah, you're not bogged down. I'm not like, get so like stuffed with food all the time and lethargic. And I'm just so much more productive. And that's still probably about the 4 weeks out marker. So this has been the most productive 4 weeks that's probably happened in the last 6 months, solely just because my carbs went from high days being at like 1,200 down to 500. I feel amazing. Hunger's back, appetite's back. Like the last 2 weeks, I've actually wanted to have a cheat meal, which I'm sure the wife is enjoying, where it's like, oh, let's actually go out to dinner. And I'm not constantly complaining, which again, I'm sure she's enjoying that. So yeah, I'm going to compete next year regardless. And the other thing being is, like I said, as business continues to pick up, I find that, and I'll level with you guys, as much as I preach, like, you know, you should be locked in all the time and stuff, I battle with my own issues of having daily motivation, especially when the end goal is so far, and I fought so hard to get a pro card and win the overall, and that was an exhilarating feeling. I'm not going to feel that feeling again until I win a pro show and go to the Olympia. And so right now, by the time I step on stage next year, I will have been away from the stage for over 104 weeks. It will be even more, probably closer to like 110, 112. That's a long time. And to be completely locked in for that extended period of time, I did feel, and that was why I hired a coach, because doing my own first push went really well. But I felt like as I'm getting busier, I'm letting things slide. I'm letting things fall through the gap. So I just wanted to be real and honest with you guys that that stuff does happen. Like, no matter how much I preach of like, be realistic, you know, you should be locked in, like your best. And I've said it before, probably you guys have screenshotted my story saying like, if you treated your off season like you treated your prep, you wouldn't step on stage looking the exact same that you did the year prior. 80% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So yeah, right now, you guys love talking about drugs. Let's talk about drugs. I'm running 450 milligrams of total androgens a week. Now, some of you guys would probably say that is not a cruise, and I would agree. That's why I've been calling it a health phase, because my peak androgen load last push met 1450. So about 1.5 grams a week, close to that. So yeah, we brought it down. Right now I'm just running 300 milligrams a test. It was supposed to be 300 milligrams of primobolan and 150 milligrams a test. However, I was starting to notice some like libido issues. And so I swapped the ratios myself. I made that call of like, okay, let's pull the actual test that does aromatize and put that up higher, pull the Primobolan down, and that's helped really, really quick, like almost like overnight. So yeah, still getting erections. Yeah, now, why is it still so high? One, as I just mentioned, I went from eating 1,200 grams of carbs to sustain that body weight and grow all that new tissue to 500. I need to make sure that that new tissue that I put on sticks around. That's key, right? Because there's no point of like you pushing up to a new body weight, gaining all this tissue, you start dieting, and it's the first thing to go. And then two, the further past your genetic capability, the more things that's going to take to sustain that look. Because what you're genetically capable of is this, and you want to live up here. So, of course, to be able to stay here, you're going to need exogenous things. And that's steroids. So I'm completely understanding that this is probably not the healthiest thing, but I would say it's healthier than what like I could be doing, which is just running high amounts of androgens year round. I've previously preached in the past that, you know, get your cruise dose as low as possible. Well, I was also a 195-pound men's physique competitor, and I didn't have to have as much tissue. So that's the best way to look at this. Coaching endeavors. What do I want out of coaching? What are my plans, honestly, within the next like 2 years? My goal is to be set up for the rest of my life. And it sounds crazy to say that within the next 2 years, I honestly have the opportunity to do that. And a lot of that has to do with you guys. A lot of that has to do with my wife, Andrea. A lot of that has to do with Cam helping me through this, everyone. So when I say that, like, I'm now able to comfortably is questionable, but I work right now with four IFBB pros, and knock on wood, we will be announcing a fifth very shortly, that just decided they wanted to sign on. I have 2 new coaches we're going to be announcing. The goal will ultimately be to grow the brand to probably about 5 coaches underneath me. You know what? Screw that. We're going to grow the brand to 5 coaches alongside me, because these coaches are not going to be working underneath me. They're going to be a part of JB Coaching Concepts. I want them to have the success that I do. I want them to be just as successful. I want them to be making, you know, 6 figures a year from coaching, living the lifestyle they want here in Tampa, or wherever, and to be able to work from the computer and love what they do. So that's where I want to take JB Coaching Concepts. You know, and I have the team behind us to do that, not only including Cam, my wife, and myself, but you guys will be meeting who does the back end of everything for JB Coaching Concepts here within the next month. So extremely excited for that. And then we have some other business endeavors that we're about to get into, that I think, again, I will be able to retire my parents, retire Andrea, who won't retire anyways. Within JB Coaching Concepts, I wanted to become a household name within the industry. I'm not trying to make it a team, because not every one of the coaches is going to be a competitor's coach. The new coach we just hired, one is a lifestyle, one is a competition prep coach. But I want everyone to get the most out of what they can offer and be the best that they can. And within that, be able to be financially sustainable for the long term. Enough of that bullshit. Let's go talk about my secret obsession. Boom. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 pairs just for, oh shit.
But what are they?
16 pairs of Eric Emanuel shorts.
And they're like, how much?
There's some limited edition ones in here. And then like some basic pairs. They vary from like 115 to 148. So this is like my prep addiction here. These are like, I think I've worn them like one time. and because they were limited edition. And I just like, you guys know me. I told you I want that pink pivot shirt.
I know.
See, like I'm all about pink, and yeah, real men wear pink. Yeah, like these ones, the last time I looked in this size, they were like 12 grand. They have a baby blue pair that's like just swap the pink for baby blue. It was the Wynwood drop. I didn't even live in Florida at the time. They were in Wynwood, Miami. You could only get, I think it was like 100 pairs, and yeah, size 10. They don't even fit me anymore because I used to be with that like person who thinks my feet are continuing to grow. Not anymore. Let's see, we got some cool stuff in here. So there's that. Travis Scott 4s. These are pretty cool. I wore these the other day. Bunch of essential stuff in here, obviously, that I never wear because the only place I go to is the gym. Let's see, there's a bunch of off-white stuff in here. You said you wanted to see the Chicago's.
You don't understand. Are these the off-white Chicago's?
Yeah.
Dude, you know these were like.
Well, they're worth more now because I beat the crap out of my shoes because I actually wear them.
Well, what's his name died?
Yeah, Virgil died.
Those are worth like 15 grand.
So these are still in pretty good condition, all things considering. Got the, I should probably throw these in there. They would look crazy with these laces. Got those. Let's see. Oh, what else? Off-white, Prestos. These, like, I bought them kind of like on a whim. I don't really like the way they look on my feet.
They look funky.
Yeah, so I don't wear them too much, but they sit there. All right.
What's your favorite shoe?
My favorite shoe? My favorite shoe? Oh, these got mold on them because the box, like, it sat out in the weather too much, and that came in from like with them wet when it rained, and then now they kind of look kind of cool because they're like
stressed.
Yeah, and like look at like.
Yeah, that's kind of cool actually.
So, I wore these the other day. These are pretty cool. Oh man, these are a bitch to take out. It's Jordan 2 off-whites.
Those are cool.
No one, and like these were originally high tops, and you can see they chopped them to make them low tops there. Yeah, these were pretty cool.
Is that a real signature?
Huh?
Is that a real signature?
No, that's how they come. All the shoes are like that.
Really?
Yeah, like they put his signature on there. I think this happened like right after he died, so that was like part of the cool thing. Let's see, what other hype stuff do we got here? The real hype beast people will know what these are. I lost the box when we moved, so Sean Witherspoon Air Max 1 97. So it's actually an Air Max 1 and 97 mixed in one. Yeah, super uncomfortable. Oh, my favorite pair of shoes all time. Yeah, the Uggs that I can't even wear anymore. Tom Brady got me on these. Man, oh man. But we never go anywhere cold, so I don't even know why I brought them.
Air Forces?
Kith Air Force Ones. Think of that. So if you know Kith, obviously, this was their collaboration. They have a blue pair as well. I break these out for like Christmas. When I have to be a little bit like more spiffy. Look at that. I should probably upkeep them a little better.
Yeah, you should.
You know, check this out. It's like the little Kith like thing that comes with it, and it like flops on there. Code Ballard.
Code Ballard.
Code Ballard. And then, if you really know, this is the real hat right here. This is the real hat. I think, honestly, I want to buy another pair of them. Andrea's like, if she sees another pair of shoes, I may get divorced. So it's the only thing that stopped me because I've kind of beat these ones pretty bad. But like, these, I love them.
Yeah, off-white.
Yeah, off-white, dunks, low tops. They're so comfortable, easy to get into. I think these were like the original ones. It's got like the chrome on there just to make it pop a little bit. And then like, I'm a sucker for like the like kind of cream worn sole. Yeah. Like I said, I want to buy another pair just because I actually wear the shoes and I beat them. So a pair of Jordan 5 lows. Damn, these dirty too.
Damn, bro. You're just dirty in your shoes.
Yeah. But these are super comfortable. I want to look like an asshole type of shoe. Probably like these. Nike SB. These are my only Nike SB high tops. These are pretty dope. Supreme collabs. Yeah. But I think that's a wrap. Cam needs to get the fuck out of my house. No, we're about to move, so I'm excited for that. We're actually going to get into a house. Tired of the townhouse situation. That'll be the next video. You guys already met the puppy. Need to buy more shoes, so we'll keep you guys updated on that. And then because of the fact that I am hiring 2 new coaches, pay attention. We're going to be doing about, I think it's like $1,000 giveaway between, well, it'll be more than that. It'll probably be closer to like $3,000 between sponsors giveaway. And then I think it's 3 months that each coach is going to do of free coaching.